Big.
You said you were gonna... Alright, folks, it's come down to this. Game 3 of the second series between these players to decide who moves on out of the group stages to join Daniel. Been a hard-fought match getting to this point. Series is tied 1-1. Cube, why don't you take us through one last time? Who are these players? What races are they? And where are they occupying the map?
In the bottom right corner, we got El Capitan Atlas in the baby blue, but I like to call it by its real name, Teal. In the top left, we do have an Academy member fall under the leadership of Atlas. He is the purple Zerg on the top left corner, and his name is EON.
Alright, a little friendly banter going back and forth between the two players here. As Morse pointed out in the break, these two know each other very well, so what may seem like tremendous BM is actually just well-intended, friendly jibing back and forth. Just like these two here are friendly jibing back and forth, a little bit of drone SCV fun, never hurt anyone unless you're a drone or an SCV, in which case doesn't always end well. But Barracks and Reactor going down in Atlas's base, and as we're approaching 15 supply, we'll see what the choice is for EON.
I heard the new jabbing was starting to jab on Cube. I heard that was meta now.
Oh. Well, you heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first. We have the famous hatch first from our player EON. If Atlas picked up on this, he could just proxy 2 racks and win the game.
Well,
right
it's a little late for the proxy 2 racks, as 1 racks is already down here, so we probably won't see that. Reaper coming out of the barracks here, rallied all the way over into the natural of EON. So, don't fear the Reaper, here it comes.
So, the SCV scout is scouting around for some...
I was worried if you were still alive, Cube.
Sorry, I had to drink some water. So Atlas is scouting for... I don't know what. What could he possibly be scouting for?
He's scouting for drone kills, Cube.
Of course. He's scouting for that pesky drone. So we will have that Reaper coming out, looking for what EON did. Atlas should be catching on that he hatched first.
He sees a drone here, opts to not kill it though. Okay, coming back to kill it now. Drone is as good as dead. Reaper moving up, and will it get into a building? No, it won't. It turns into a splatty blood stain on the creep instead. Gonna lose a second drone here. Not very well controlled by EON. EON's gonna lose a third drone. What is EON doing here?
Maybe his back pain's getting in the way of his macro.
Yeah,
a really
Reaper
bad
surrounded.
option by...
However, that Reaper did take down 3 workers before it was put to rest in the mineral line. So it's a pretty good trade.
So we have a factory with a tech lab and a barracks with a reactor. Wonder what we're gonna see. Are we gonna see swaps? Or are we gonna see Cloak Banshee with the 2 Hellion and 2 Reaper push? Not too sure.
Yeah, a little bit of everything here. Expansion and barracks and tech. So starport going down. So I think we're going to see Banshees here. I don't see any other real use for the tech lab this early on the... little Ling saying hello, 2 Marines saying goodbye, and that's cleaned up very quickly. Like I was saying, I don't see much use for this tech lab on the factory, so that's going to get swapped out.
So,
Probably Banshees are coming.
EON has double gas. He's got a lot of larvae, and he doesn't have a third. Well, now he has a third.
Moving
but
down
he's got
to
so
third
much
now.
larvae.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Probably just double evos here, going for the upgrades. That's usually what this double gas about this time is indicative of. This is pretty much the same opening he had from the previous game. What you do is you opt to take gas a little bit later, and then you take both gases, and that lets you get these 4 queens up. It's one of the gasless openings that lets your creep get spread. The creep goes creepy. The creep creeps. Is that? What is the verb that's used to describe what creep does? It creeps, right?
Advance.
Advance.
It spreads.
Yeah. Spread. Creep spread. There we go. That's the word I'm searching for. Thank you. Yeah, I'm the Zerg player. Yeah, great.
So we have quite a bit of lings popping out here from EON.
We got a Viking looking for overlords, finding an overlord, killing an overlord.
And we have double Evo chamber coming down for
Yep,
EON.
double Evo, just as expected there. He does have enough gas to start both of these upgrades as soon as the Evos come. Ling speed has just finished.
Yeah. So, I like to spread my Nutella on my sandwich the other day. See what I did there?
Cube, stop being a creep.
The puns. The puns are strong in you.
Oh! Bad way to be a Zergling.
I hated how Widowmine does friendly fire damage, but tanks do not do friendly fire damage. They do? How come we did no damage to the supply depot? Oh.
Yep. Yeah, siege tanks definitely do friendly fire damage. Alright.
So we got the Viking, he overextended a bit, but he did not get killed just yet.
Yep,
And
Viking's
Atlas
sitting at 2 kills
happening.
and 17 health.
Atlas sees what's happening.
Double
Atlas knows what's
upgrades
up.
going down.
And
Atlas knows what's
Spire
up.
thrown down. So it does look like we're going to see that game on Polar Night. It does look like Eon favored that because it worked out for him. Hopefully
We
he
are
doesn't
seeing
have
mechs, though. Here it comes. Armory going down. 2 more factories getting added on. And an engineering bay. Another command center. Churning away on Infernal Pre-Igniter. We are going to see a mech out of Atlas here. No scouting information inside Atlas's base anytime recently here for Eon. So he's very committed to this this Ling Muta Baneling composition, which will tend to struggle against Aliens and Hellbats and tanks and the mech-heavy army. So hopefully he realizes this in time and doesn't go too far up the wrong unit composition path.
This Viking reminds me of the Carbot and Avoidable. It's like, and then like the Void Ray just obliterates that thing. I'd like to see Eon keep his creep spread queen's energy under 100 this game.
Yep, creep definitely
Advancing.
spreading forward here, but these queens, plenty of energy. It's good to save a little bit for transfuse if you need it, but a few more tumors once your creep starts. Once these tumors start being spread out, the actual speed of the advance is significantly slowed. So I'd like to see a few more tumors. I'd like to see this one fill in the ramp and connect through there. It's the little things that are going to give you a little bit more of an edge as your army is pushed and pulled all around. We have Thors coming out. 2 Hellbats being loaded up into a medevac, boosted off. Let's see. I don't think this is going to be seen by any of Eon's forces. So looks like a Hellbat drop headed for the main.
I think Atlas is blind countering to what Eon had the previous game, because he is opting for that Thor, but you usually just get it. I think these Thors are just gonna put a big roadblock right in front of those meters that try and come into his base.
Yeah,
And we do have
it's interesting to see the Thors so fast. but it's definitely going to be hard for him to contend with, and he's just churning away on 2-2 for melee and carapace, and as well as starting the Muta upgrades. Hellbats dropped in the main.
Blue flame
Workers
Hellbats
already going down. Blue flame just scorching everything. Should have brought your barbecue sauce. All of these drones are going down. Mutas are coming in to mop this up, but these Hellbats are pretty happy. 8 kills on one of them. Probably about the same on the other. 7 workers remain. That was quite a blow to the economy here, but no damage to the army. Lings and Mutas screaming across the map. They're going to see a giant wall of mech here. Not what you want to see is a bunch of Mutas, and they immediately turn around and head back. That's an all-stop order for a bunch of Mutas to see Thors and Marines with some Vikings there. That's pretty much end of the line there if you're a Muta. He's going to have to be very careful about where he engages. There's missile turrets up everywhere, and this third is a little bit unprotected. Could see some Muta harass there, but the army is so close.
That early Viking actually helped serve its purpose by helping clear path for that drop to happen. That actually did quite a bit of damage.
Yep, we now have a sensor tower going down. This is a great tool for mech armies because they're slow and hard to reposition. So any little edge you can have and see where your opponent's army is going to come from can give you a little bit of an edge.
But once you're sieged in with a mech army, you're sieged in for good. You cannot.
Yeah, it looks like
thing.
Atlas is pretty content on getting his third base up and running, and these Mutas moving in. He's going to see it from the sensor towers. 2 turrets are there. They're not going to be enough to repel the Mutas, but with the army moving in, so many Vikings, so many Thors. Got to be careful here so he doesn't take too many bad shots with the Mutas.
So with a new update, we do see the armory being a bit more quick on the upgrades instead of having to research ship and vehicle weapons separately and vehicle and ship plating together, I think it was.
Yep,
if I'm
that's
not
a change
wrong.
in the patch. Yep, you are correct.
Yeah, that's actually very big for mech. But they did break the bio mine. They did break the widow mine. A lot of turns same.
Yep, and so we see EON spreading out here. I like this. Against the turtling player, he's not going to push out and deny these bases. I would like to see even one more base from EON here. Get greedy, get your creep spread all the way out, and macro up, get your macro hatches. That's something that he had a little bit of a problem with in the previous game.
I'm not favoring this base that he took up here. I think it'd be safer to take one in these 2 corners down here because he is spreading creep that way. His units will be down there, and we do see Ultralisk Cavern coming down and Hive finished. So we should see Infestor, Ultralisk, Muta, Bling Bling coming down.
We also see the missile attacks coming in here, and I think that's good to start upgrading that because the missile-based units tend to fare a little bit better against this. As we see in Atlas's base, two medevacs are being loaded up with Hellbats now. One of them heading out in this direction, the other heading out in the other direction. So we may have a simultaneous Hellbat drop here in 2 different fronts. Meanwhile, some Zerglings poke in to see if they can get any scouting. They're going to get some siege tanks, and that's about it. That is a lot of links to lose for absolutely nothing.
He's trying to clear the supply so he can actually get Ultralisks out.
Yep.
I think that's why he was doing it. And finally, he actually had hatches so he can actually remax.
Yep, Hellbats completely undefended. Third here. Oh, they're going for the queen. They want to go for the workers instead. Lots of workers going down here. Ling's coming in to help mop this up, but Mutas should be able to snipe this. Meanwhile, in the main, Hellbats dropping there, killing some workers in the main. Nothing headed this way just yet. The whole army responds, moving the entire army back up. These are all going to go down. Ultra's huge flock of Mutas, Lynx Banes, coming in, cleaning that up. Medevac is still alive, though. Not for long. This one Muta will shoo it away and finally drop it.
But Alice does see the Ultras revealed. That's a big giveaway for Atlas.
Yep. 3 more Thors in production as EON starts filling out the all of the orange upgrades. He's got the chitinous plating going, carapace and melee level 3 also on the way, as well as carapace level 2 for his mutas. Tons of banelings morphed in. Maybe causing Atlas to lag a little bit, but I like this decision. Zerglings aren't going to do much in this. Banelings are going to be able to rip through Hellbats pretty quickly, and in a pinch they can do a decent amount of damage to tanks. Not great on Thors, but with a little micro, that's not a problem.
I wish EON put down a couple more spires, like 2 more, so we can start upgrading Greater Spire and get 2-2.
Yep. Interesting, we see 4 Banshees on the way, as well as Cloak for Atlas. So it looks like Atlas is going to try to do some more harassing. I like this addition of harassment into the mech style because he's turtled up. There's not really any way he can push out with much without getting completely run over. And it looks like EON is fed up of the turtle. He's just going to move right straight in here. He's going to let these banelings through, crashing through all the tanks. Ultra's going through. So much damage.
And here comes the Remax, just on Ultra.
Yep.
Ultra
12 Ultras, 54 Lings Remax. EON is back up to 192 supply. Atlas moves out. It's going to be interesting to see if Atlas can get a good setup. He does have the advantage of, he's going to have these cloak on these 4 Banshees, but 4 cloaked Banshees is not going to take down 12 Ultras too fast.
I don't like the way EON's expounding at all. He's taking both sides of the map. He's being super greedy. He will pay the price eventually, because Atlas will just choose one side and his army will be on the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you there, Cube. Putting the expansions on both sides of the map means that as long as Terran's army is on this side, these 2 expansions are perfectly safe with the mech army. So all he has to do is move drones over, and he's not too afraid with this many Ultras on the field. He should be taking all of the expansions. Ultra's just mowing over everything. These Banshees are able to hack things through a little bit. Vikings going on the Overseers, but like I said, Banshee's not going to do too much against this many Ultras.
I heard that Vikings can shoot only up, right?
Yeah.
This
this looks pretty much like a victory large. There's almost nothing here at home for Atlas. These mutas are just on parade. Only thing left is all these Banshees in the sky, which now that there's starting to be a larger number of these, Atlas is making a transition into a Sky Terran here, and
you see mutas
probably
coming back
be able to take care of these now that there's so many Banshees on the field. Interesting transition out of Atlas here, but EON's responding with Mutalisks. However, there are a ton of Vikings and Banshees on the field now. Banshees have cloak, and with the Vikings there to snipe any Overseers, this army could stand to do some damage, and that's exactly what he needs to do right now. He needs to start cleaning out all these mining bases.
I think Muta's the wrong transition. I'd rather go into Corruptorling, because you cannot fight the Vikings with Muta, if I'm correct.
I don't think there's an overwhelming number of Vikings here. 16 mutas definitely is going to be able to take this many Vikings. Some of them are in the red, and the problem with Corruptors, yeah, so many mutas are going to just totally decimate this force. I think this is GG here. These,
but he does not have
if he stays away, he's got a magic box over these stores. Spread out your mutas. You're going to lose so many if you don't. Alright. Good. Vikings chipping away. It's just not enough. So many mutas on the Remax here. Banshees moving up. Their cloak is only going to last so long, and they're going to have a lot of muta friends as soon as that cloak expires. Overseer is now here. Mutas popping from every angle, every hatchery. Banshees running for their life. Atlas trying to hold on here, but gonna lose all of these Banshees, as unfortunately they cannot shoot the mutas that are chasing them.
It does look like it might be GG for a Terran player here, but he is getting Thor. And he did snipe Ultra Cavern, which is being remade right now.
Yep,
Again,
4 Thors on the way.
the Corruptor, I think the Corruptor transition would have been better, because now he could have went into Broodlords.
Yeah, I think the mobility and the utility of these Mutalisks is what he needs now. Broodlords are so slow and take so much gas that having these upgraded mutas is definitely going to be able to ensure that the air army doesn't get going. He can't expand, and I think right now that EON just needs to perhaps take another expansion, as he's completely mined out of both his main and his natural, and just start trying to peck away at the Terran. The Terran's going to be mined out very shortly, almost completely mined out of the main and natural as well. Atlas moving up here into the 5th base. This 5th base probably going to fall here unless these mutas can make it back in time. There are 4 Thors here. This is not the best place to engage. Great control of the mutas, though. They're nice and spread out. Lots of Vikings and Thors here. Muta count is dwindling.
The Thors aren't doing anything, though. They're not attacking.
Yeah, but they're tanking for all of the Vikings here. Atlas taking down so many mutas. There's enough medevacs, or not medevacs, there's enough Vikings here to take out all of these Thors. I think that was a mistake to stay in there engaged. So many Vikings on the field.
We do see the Ultra transition coming back into play. I think he's just going to use a signature move and go between Ultra and Viking. No, yeah, he can make Vikings. Ultra and Muto.
Yep, Hellbat's moving in on this expansion here. This one's going to fall too. This is quickly swinging in the favor of Atlas, as only 2 mining bases remain, and the 3rd of EON is almost mined out. Great transition to a Sky Terran here from Atlas to hang on, but some bad muta control and taking a bad engagement there. EON saying you don't need to go try hard.
Over $5.
For $5 here, but Alice is out for blood, and
it's not just $5, it's the opportunity to play in the bracket where the total prize pool is at $100. This push, oh my god, I didn't think Atlas was going to win this. These Ultras are really Eon's last defense.
Yeah, and he's not going to be able to remax. He doesn't have much of a bank after this, but also, I think there's going to be only about 2 Banshees and 1 Ultralisk remaining after all of this. Muta's not going to do anything against this many Vikings. The Vikings are able to land if needed, so Atlas could have a very mobile strike force there. Atlas looking to take an expansion at the recently cleared out Zerg 5th. In production, we have 12 Lings for EON, and Banshees and Vikings coming out for Atlas, but most of the army is gone here for EON, and I just starting to get mining back up.
This might be GG. Atlas has secured himself a base, and if he just moves out with those Vikings and starts landing them in the main, starts destroying all his tech, and starts working his way outside of the main, I think he could win the game.
Yeah, I mean, EON has gotten another base up here, so he does have 2 mining bases. Granted, this 4th base isn't completely saturated, but these drones are going to quickly mine out the 3rd, so those can get moved over. They're spread out, but EON needs to focus all of his energy on just defending these mining bases right now, and this is so many Vikings along with a couple Banshees and some Thors. It's going to be a tremendous amount of DPS there. This expansion is definitely not going to go down. Hopefully they get to cancel there. Cancel goes down. Drone is killed, but all these drones are getting pulled here. Can't afford to lose any units at this point in the game if EON wants to have any chance of winning here.
We see Ravens coming out of the starports. This is a nice tech swap for the PDDs, or the Hunter Seekers, or whatever you call them.
Yeah, the Ravens are going to be a great cost-effective way to approach this late game if you can get enough of them. Right now, it's just a matter of killing mining bases for Atlas, and he just needs to work methodically from one to another. Zerglings moving in here. They need to be focusing down those SCVs. They are. This army is pretty much going to roll around uncontested. Wasting a little bit of cloak here, but I don't think the cloak is really necessary or helpful at this point, as there's no real air threats anywhere. Ultra's marching forward, trying to get something done in Atlas's main, but the air army is just raining fury down on top of them, and as pretty and purple as they are, they're just not going to stand a chance.
Focusing down a refinery certainly is not going to help his cause either.
Yeah, that's one refinery that's not going to be contributing its leftover 272 gas to the fight here, I guess. Ling's sneaking in. Eon teasing Atlas for being a tryhard, but he's trying to eke out every last bit of these units. Killing SCVs here. These Lings are going to get cleaned up very shortly by these Hellbats.
The thing about Terran, when you base race, or when you get Ling attacked, you don't actually need the SCVs. You got your mules. If you get late enough in the game, you could actually win just straight off mule.
Yeah.
It's
very difficult to break a Terran's economy at this point in the game. 10 Lings, 1 Ultra coming out. Unfortunately, most of Atlas's army is in the air, completely safe from all of those units. So, unless they decide to land, which they don't need to because there's a considerable amount of Banshees here, it's gonna be quickly GG here. Focusing down the spent extractor. These Hellbats are very bravely joining the fight here as Atlas slowly starts to clean up all of Eon's bases. Scans going down, making sure it's safe to proceed. This death army of Sky Terran just completely annihilating all these Ultras. Some Corruptors here, but just so many Vikings not doing much. Point defense drone goes down. Corruptors pretty much neutralized. This is game, folks. Not much Eon can do. His hatcheries are falling one by one. He's still in the game, but if only to watch Atlas's triumph. All the tech is about to fall. Banshee's just hacking away at the hive here. Last minute, Zergling running into the natural, getting mopped up by these Hellbats. Happy to contribute to the fight. All of these Overlords in the corner just completely being decimated. So much violence. Not much left here. This is it. Everything is gone. No more Overlords. Eon, just to show you how far behind he is, still not supply capped after losing all those Overlords. This mining base is going down.
There's
several more Lings running. Just
look at the drones are gonna make an assault. The drones.
Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Drones heading off to make a final assault.
Or no!
So this is the secret timing push that everyone has waited for.
I would like to see these Vikings on the ground fighting. They need to be a part of this. They've done so much. They've been flying around for so long. It'd be great to see them get a kill here. We've got one base here, third of the way done for Eon, so his chances of a comeback are still alive here, resting with this one base and a bunch of brave drones. As long as it doesn't get scouted for the next 40 or 50 minutes, I think Eon has a good chance of coming back here.
He has a good chance if it doesn't get scouted for another half an hour.
I think it got scanned earlier.
Yeah, I think judging by the direction this army is heading, there's the GG. Good transition. Good game. Great series.
Wow, that Atlas comeback. Atlas has won the $5. I think Ian might be a little bummed out.